In this video, I'm going to show you how to turn your granny squares into a cute little pouch that's fully lined. It's actually really easy to do. You could keep them as a pouch or you could put a strap on and use it as a little bag. It's entirely up to you. So what I'm going to do is take you through every step except for making the granny squares. So I'm assuming you can make granny squares, and there's a video below and on the screen showing you how. And then what I'm going to show you is how to join them and make your pouch. Now I'm making it out of 6 squares that are joined together like this. It's up to you. You could do it with more squares, you could do it with fewer squares depending on the size, and obviously your squares might be a different size. So I'm just going to quickly show you how you join your granny squares, and then you'll be able to do that with as many as you want to do. So obviously we're back to the crochet hook, your little slip. Now you can put that on and then go through, or as I do, you can go through your stitch and then put your hoop on. Now what I'm going to do here is just a nice slip stitch. So I'm just going through the back loops of each stitch, yarn over, hook and through, and I'm going to do that for every stitch all the way along the square. Now you could be doing a double or a single crochet join. You could be doing this simple what was the word I just used? Slip stitch join. It really doesn't matter how you join your squares, is up to you, but you do just want to get 2 squares and work your way along and join them, making sure you work in every stitch so that you keep it nice and neat and even, and so that you get to the end of each square at the same time. And then we're going to show you how to keep going, because obviously we don't just want to join 2 squares. We then want to carry on and join 2 more onto the end, then 2 more, and possibly more if you're making a larger pouch. So you can see I'm getting towards the end now. So I'll just keep going. And then when you get to the end, do just make sure you go all the way to the end stitch, because we don't want to leave a gap. You can see they're well joined. And then we need to look for our next squares. So you'll have another pair and think about how they're going to look. So it's worth doing the open up and check. And then again, you're going to go right into that corner stitch and just carry on. You just carry on as if you were just doing the other squares. And as you work your way along, then they're just all joined together, and keep going. And then you can come back and join your pairs the other way. So you end up with these sides for your pouches. Then obviously we need to join those. So what I'm going to show you now is what is called the double crochet join, or if you're in America, the single crochet join. You could go through that big corner hole, but I don't. I like to use the actual corner stitch, and I tend to work just in the back loops. I quite like the effect that gives. It's entirely up to you. So again, we're just going to go through those corner back loops. Come on, let's get my way through. There we go. And then put the loop onto the crochet hook. Okay. And then, oh, it's dropped off. Do you not find that's the fiddliest bit, getting started? And then once you get going, you're sorted. I'll just do another loop. Sorry about that. Okay. All right. Well, let's have another go at that. Let's pull it a bit tighter this time, perhaps. All right. So pull it back through. And this time, instead of carrying on with a slip stitch, we're going to do what here in the UK we call a double crochet, and in the US you call a single crochet. So you're going to go in that next stitch in the same way, yarn over, hook, pull it through those 2 loops, and then yarn over, hook and pull it through the remaining 2 loops. And you're going to do that in every stitch all the way around your pouch. When I say all the way around, I do of course mean 3 sides. So you can just do it in one seam. Okay, so you don't have to stop at the corners, you just keep going. So you go through the back loops, yarn over, through those 2 loops, yarn over, through the remaining 2 loops. And what you get there, it's almost like a little ridge which I think looks really nice on the pouch, be it on the inside or the outside. It's up to you. I'm actually putting it on the inside because I didn't want it on this one, but on the other one I think I've put it on the outside. All these things are for you to get creative and make what you want. But you can see when we see that on the outside now, you won't see that ridge, but you will have a good strong seam. I'm just trying to demonstrate different ways. And whether you like that seam on the inside, so you never see it, or on the outside, is entirely up to you. So you can see, as if by magic, I'm all the way around, and I've now got a granny squared crocheted pouch. And you could just stick a popper on it and use it, if that's what you want to do. Absolutely no problem. I'm just going to turn it out so you can see. It's there. Just pop your finger in the corners, they'll pop out easily enough. And there you go. But obviously we want to line it, which I think is the bit that makes these pouches really nice and really practical, because you can put anything in them and you won't lose it through any of the holes in the granny squares. So we're going to start by measuring it. Now I'm going to include this step because obviously yours will be whatever size granny squares you've made and however many you've sewn together or crocheted together. So I'm measuring across, and you can see I'm calling that 9.5 inches, and the height of it, let's have just a little tweak. Let's have a look in the middle and look at the other end, just in case I've done something silly. But yeah, I'm going to call that 6 inches. So now I've got to think about my fabric size. So I'm going to think about what size to cut it. So if it's 9.5 inches wide, I'm going to cut the fabric 10.5 inches wide. And the length of my fabric is going to be 6 inches plus 6 inches plus another 1 inch for seam allowance, which is going to give me 13. So you need to cut your lining fabric to the size of yours plus those dimensions. So you're basically adding 1 inch to each one so that you've got a 1/2 inch seam allowance. And then you're going to get that piece of fabric and you want to attach your zip to one of the short ends. Now, if you've got a really long zip like mine, don't worry. But what we're doing is attaching it to the wrong side because we want the right side inside the pouch. Okay? So that's the right side. So that when you open the zip, you see the right side inside the pouch. So that's really important. And then it's over to the machine, zip a foot on, if you've got one, and then you're just going to run along that zip. So do a few stitches, reverse it, back to the beginning, and then back to forwards stitching, and down you go. And you can see I've just got a thread caught up there. Now, I often stop part way and move the actual zip fastener because it just makes it easier. Then I'm just going to release that thread that I've got caught as well. So all the way along to the other end of your fabric. And again, a little reverse. So if you've got a lot of spare zip, you need to cut it off. If you haven't, that's fine. So you can see I've just cut mine off. So we've sewn it on one side, we now need to sew it on the other. Now remember, the inside of the pouch is the right side. So you can see I just folded that over, I just pulled it, and now I'm going to pin it there. And you can check at any time that you're doing it right, just by unzipping a bit and having a look, and have you got the right side in there? And if you haven't, you know to undo it, go back and sort it out. Just make sure you've got the right side of your fabric inside the pouch, because you're never going to see these bits we're looking at now. Then it's back to your machine and run down the other side of the zip. Nice and straightforward and simple. And then when you've sewn the zip in, you need to make sure that you're happy with everything before you sew the sides of your pouch up. Now, because of the way we're working for our pouch, you don't need to worry about having the zip open. You can open the zip up a bit, it might take it away from the edge for you, but you don't have to worry about it. You just go back to the machine and run down each side. So you're just going from the fold at the bottom all the way up to the zip. I wouldn't get too precious about how close to the zip you get. No one's ever going to spot it if there's a tiny little gap. Or you can go right up over the zip. But if you do, be careful. If you're stitching over a zip, it's very easy to break your needle. So you can see I've sewn one end. Time to sew the other end. And what you're effectively making here is a pouch, but it's a pouch lining. So all your seams are on the outside at the moment as you look at it. They're going to get hidden by your crocheted pouch. So once that's sewn, you can see we've got the right side in there. I've left some threads on. And now it's time to pop it inside the crocheted pouch. So just slide it in. It should fit reasonably well. Pop your corners down. And then we need to sew it in to the actual crocheting. So the best thing you can do is pin or clip it in place. So make sure both ends of your zip line up with the ends of the crocheted pouch. And that's going to get you off to a good start. So if you pin or clip that, you can then ease any zip or any crocheting into the seam quite nicely so that you end up in the right place at the other end, the end of the zip matching up with the end of the crocheting. So you can see I'm just working my way along, clipping it in place with various size clips, however they come out of the tub. I don't get too fussy. So you can see now as I get along there, I'm just going to pin the other end or clip it. And you just work your way around until you're happy with it. And if you're enjoying this video, could you give me a thumbs up so it spreads to more people, because that's how YouTube works. And it'd be nice if other people could use their granny squares to make a bag or a pouch or a purse or whatever they want with it, really. You can make a little wash bag if you used a waterproof lining. So you can see I've just had to adjust those a little bit. And now I'm going to get my needle and thread and I'm going to sew it. So you would clip both sides, obviously. You're going to start working your way along this side and make sure you're happy. And then you can start sewing. So all you need is an ordinary needle and thread, nothing fancy. And I tend to put a little knot in my thread. So you just need to start at one end. It doesn't really matter where you start, to be honest. I just always think the end sets you off to a good bit of, well, we know where we are and we know it's lined up correctly. So just put a little stitch in the end. Now I tend to put a few little stitches and I will put my needle through one of the loops to add another little knot in. It just gives me a good start and makes me confident, because it's going to take quite a bit of strain. And then you're just going to slip stitch it. So you want a little bit of crocheted work, a little bit of the zip. Now I do recommend at either end to do plenty of stitches, just to make sure it's nice and secure. And indeed, as you work your way along, don't make them enormous stitches. Make sure you do quite a lot of small stitches, and then you'll end up with a good finish and you won't be putting too much strain on any bit of the crochet. You don't want it pulling and going loopy or anything. So a lot of small stitches as you work your way along. And you can see a slip stitch is just a little bit of the crochet work, a little bit of the zip. And you've got your clips in place to make sure you stay lined up, because obviously where you've crocheted it's quite flexible and stretchy. So you've got to work on keeping it all lined up. I'm not going to make you watch me go all the way round, but you do just work your way round. And then when you get to the end, finish your thread off and make it nice and taut. And there you go, you've got a pouch. Now if you want to sew handles onto it, you could sew some handles on either end or some special handles on the side and use it for a bag. For me, I just wanted the little pouch. So I hope this has been helpful, and I hope you're going to carry on enjoying your crocheting. If you're looking for some more projects, there's something up on the screen now, and happy crocheting.